Good morning, everyone. I'm Madhur Jain from HH India team and your host. Welcome to the fifth webinar of Market Update web series, this time focused on cookware, kitchenware, and houseware segments. As you're all aware, it is a market. The series is a knowledge sharing platform created to celebrate 10 years of HH India's service to the home industry. We're preparing very well for HH India 2021. The dates are from June 8 to 11. It will be a 4 days show. Hope to see many of you at the show. Registrations are open and filling fast. Today's topic for discussion is exciting future for cookware, kitchenware, and houseware in the post-pandemic era, recent market trends. HH India 21 is also connected to the topic through special focused pavilions during the show on smart cooking and Swachh Bharat, where you will witness advancements in kitchen and houseware segments respectively. Before I introduce our speaker, let me request Mr. Arun Rungta, MD, HH India, also a pioneer of the Indian home exhibition industry, to present to you the opening remarks. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Madhur. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Mr. Kalro. Good morning, all the audience from all over the country. As first of all, I would like to share this, that somehow we have always been perceived as a home textile, home decor kind of an organization, which is really untrue, because we have been working in the houseware and the kitchenware, cookware segment for last 12 to 15 years. And I'm feeling so privileged to have Mr. Chandru Kalro with us, who clearly has been a pioneer. He has been into organizing the houseware industry, the cookware industry, and I'm sure you will hear more from him. But TTK Prestige clearly has been a market leader. It's a way forward ahead of its competitors. And I'm very glad that Mr. Kalro has agreed to share his thoughts on how the markets are heading, where they are going. As a matter of fact, it's amazing that we have more than 800 people registered for today's presentation already. And let us see, I'm sure they will log in as the program goes on. Post-pandemic, post-coronavirus period, post-COVID-19 period has always been a question bothering all of us, whether we are manufacturers, retailers, brands, or exporters, that how the markets will behave, how the markets, what should I do for my business. And I think Mr. Kalro is going to bring us insight onto what had changed in cooking and cookware after we were hit by this pandemic, and what is the new situation emerging. He is going to share that. So I'm sure that will be very, very exciting for the cookware fraternity, where there are not many presentations taking place in this country, which they need to, in my opinion. We need to really get more organized in this segment. This is my clear view. I'm sure this view is shared by Mr. Kalro also as he comes in. So I would not take much of your time, and I would invite all of you to HGH India. At the show is picking up really well, and I would invite Mr. Kalro to make a presentation today, and then probably we'll have a little more discussion at the end of his presentation. Madhur, over to you to introduce Mr. Kalro and take this process forward. Thank you.
Thank you for your esteemed words, sir. I'm pleased to introduce our speaker for today's session, Mr. Chandru Kalro, an engineer with work experience of over 34 years spanning sales, marketing, corporate planning and strategy, alliances, and general management. Mr. Kalro started his career with BPL Limited and worked there for 7 years. Joined TTK Prestige in 1993 as product manager. Currently, the managing director of the company, Mr. Kalro, has played a key role in moving the company from a south-based, south-focused company in just pressure cookers to becoming India's largest and most profitable kitchen appliance company. The journey of the company has been from a turnover of 113 crores in 2003 to 2100 crores today. The Prestige brand today is extremely vibrant, awarded super brand status for last 12 years in a row. Mr. Kalro has won several awards like the Pride of Karnataka in marketing, India's top 50 most talented CMOs, Thought Leadership in Marketing, Corporate Leadership Award, Great Leader Award by WCRC International, India's Best Trusted CEO in Kitchen Appliances, to name a few. Before I call upon Mr. Kalro, let me remind the attendees to post their questions in the Q&A tab located at the bottom of your screen. We will have time for questions towards the end of the session. Now, without any further delay, let's welcome India's best trusted CEO in kitchen appliances, Mr. Chandru Kalro. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for that introduction, Madhur. Thank you, Mr. Rumta. Namaste to everybody. And thank you for being here. I have a presentation to make on some thoughts that I have seen, some experiences that I have gained over the last few years in this industry. And I'll, of course, tell you what I think is important in today's times and some trends. So without any further delay, let me get into my presentation. Madhur, let me know if the presentation is visible.
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah, I'll just go on to slideshow just a minute.
But you need to make full screen.
Yeah. Go to the slideshow. Is that okay now?
Yes, this is good.
Yeah. So good morning, everybody. The topic that I was given today was the future for cookware, kitchenware, and houseware in the post-pandemic era. So I'm here to present a few thoughts and trends that I see. Very short introduction. I can't miss the opportunity of introducing TTK Prestige to those who are not already dealing with us. TTK Prestige is been in existence since 1955. So we are almost 65 years old as a company. We are today India's #1 kitchen appliance company by far. That we were at 2100 crores last year, and I think the nearest company is at around 800 crores in kitchen appliances. So that being the case, we continue to be the fastest growing, most profitable in the industry. One of the key philosophies of this company is that not only must we make profits, but all our partners, stakeholders, everyone must make profits along so that we can have a sustainable partnership and business going forward. We are India's most widely distributed kitchen appliance brand. We have been the most successful with our exclusive outlets. We have a chain of 600 outlets, which are exclusive Prestige outlets, which are franchised. And that chain is fast growing. We are franchising this out in most of the tier 2, tier 3 towns. Right now, these 600 outlets are spread across, I think, 340 towns. We have presence in all channels that sell kitchen and kitchenware and kitchen appliances. This is something we are very proud of. We are an innovator by habit. Let me explain that. We launch over 100 new products every year for the last 15 years almost. When I say innovation, it's not just in products. Of course, we are an innovator in products. We pioneered pressure cookers in India. I mean, we are the people who actually brought pressure cookers first to this country. But not many people know that we are the first to bring glass top gas stoves in this country, or the first to bring about metal spoon friendly cookware in this country. non-stick cookware in this country, though we were not the first to make non-stick cookware. So all the safety features that you see in a pressure cooker today have been innovated by us. We have innovated in marketing and sales, for example. We were one of the few early adopters of schemes like display in durables. We had what is called a Go for Gold display contest. I can go on and on about our innovations. That is something that has made us the leader which we are. A strong pioneering spirit and innovation, and most importantly, we are a market creator. We are not people who milk a market that exists already. We actually create that market. Pressure cooker market being one of the many markets that we've created. I don't know if you know that India is today the largest pressure cooker market in the world. We were not the first country in the world to make the pressure cooker. So that is the way things are. And we are very, very proud of the fact that in these 65 years, we have partnerships with our retail partners, which are now into the third generation. वो जो कहते हैं हिंदी में, हम उनके यहाँ उनके परिवार की तरह हो गए हैं. Selling prestige is like a very good habit that they have got over the last so many years. So that is a small introduction to us. And now let's talk about cookware. Now, if you want to understand cookware, you have to understand food, because that is that's the only reason for cookware to exist. So I will first present some trends that we see on food and the big changes in cooking and food thanks to this pandemic. When the first lockdown was announced, I think it is the first time that all of us actually experienced 40 days of not going out from our homes. I don't think anyone else, and I had not experienced such a time before. And that meant that home cooking was all that was available to us during the lockdown. Now, what is important is that because of the health concerns today, home cooking continues to dominate even after the unlock. Because even today, I think all of us are worried about eating outside. Hygiene, personal health and nutrition has become a very major concern in all our minds. Whichever conversation you start, people will start talking about this is healthy, this is unhealthy. Why don't you should stop eating rice? You should stop eating this. You should stop eating ghee. You should do this. Food and health and nutrition are today a very, very hot topic. Therefore, street food is not that desirable as it used to be. The other thing that this pandemic did was it made the rest of the family also participate in the cooking activity of the kitchen. So everybody now realizes that even they can cook, they have the talent, and after all, it is their family for which they are cooking. Why should only the lady of the house be cooking? So homemade became the new normal in this period of the lockdown. Health, as I said, must be discussed today. You will hear these words all the time. Organic food. Suddenly, people are willing to pay 3 times what they pay for a packet of salt, as long as some word called organic is written on that salt. Clean, nutritious, low fat, balanced diet and dietitians today are doing very big business. So there is this food and health becoming very, very critical in this post-pandemic era. And people today are discovering that their family members are such talented cooks. Everyone, as they say now, is a sous chef. The sous chef is a person who's the assistant to the main chef, which is the housewife. And I don't know whether you people did it, at least in our family it happened. Many of us were posting selfies with the new dish that I cooked, for example, on Instagram and Facebook or WhatsApp. New techniques were explored, like baking, grilling, braising, broiling, roasting, things that we normally don't do. We started doing today. I used to tell people after the unlock happened that baking has become the new national pastime. We suddenly found, hand mixers selling a lot. We found blenders selling a lot. We found ovens selling a lot. Suddenly bakeware was selling, became the new topic. Bakeware never used to sell in India. For those who are retailers who have been in this business for a while, you will find that all these things after the pandemic started selling quite a bit. And of course, the one thing that started selling quite a bit was non-stick cookware. 1 year back, non-stick cookware was a bad word. Everybody had some nasty thing to say about non-stick cookware. All of it false, of course. But nevertheless, non-stick cookware was considered bad. But today, suddenly, non-stick cookware, the demand has gone up dramatically. Now, the other new trend that you are seeing is availability of convenience food. So you're having ready-to-cook curries, masala paste. You have, in fact, meal kits. So there is a full-fledged kit with instructions so that you can cook at home. Anything that can make you cook at home. You have chopped and peeled vegetables. So this whole thing about making restaurant jaisa khana at home, I think is become quite common and quite aspirational. And so the activity in the kitchen, in fact, has gone up dramatically. The lockdown, therefore, has been, as I experienced it during the period, and you also must have experienced, told us that the kitchen probably will be the new focus area in the home. And I knew that the moment the unlock will happen, there will be a huge surge in demand for all kind of products for the kitchenware. And that is exactly what happened after the unlock started. The other influencer that has happened is social media. So everyone wants to take a picture of what they have cooked and post it to their friends. Not because of anything else, because that's what they were doing. And there was no real opportunity to dress up and go anywhere. So food seems to be the most interesting. So you will, even during this period, I think on Google, on YouTube, on all these areas, recipes, home improvement, home maintenance, all of these became the highest searched for product places in the internet. Bloggers and influencers were really busy and they've become really popular, many of them having 2 billion and 3 million followers today. So creative juices are now flowing freely in every home. Another thing that changed during the pandemic was the fact that many of us did not get our servant maids during this lockdown. And even after lockdown, many people did not call their servant maids. So no domestic help meant that cleaning has become a big issue in the house. And therefore, all cleaning conveniences became extremely important. Work from home is now become a normal and children haven't been going to school. So everyone is still at home largely, and therefore clean kitchens have become extremely important and cleaning has become a major activity. So cleaning products, cleaning assistants, cleaning appliances have become a very big thing. And I think many of our retailers who were only selling earlier cookware and kitchenware and kitchen appliances today have diversified big time into the cleaning area because that is something that people are looking for. I'm just giving you an idea of some of the gadgets that have become popular suddenly, online space. Anything that adds to convenience, that becomes a time-saving theme. Because if I have to spend the whole day in the kitchen and also work from home, it has become important to a customer that they are able to save some time. So time-saving gadgets have become very important. International cuisines have meant that sometimes they have to measure the ingredients, so therefore weighing scales have become important. Several of these things, some bloggers also use all these kind of gadgets, which has meant that people have started demanding for these products when they are building up their own kitchen. So as I said, time saving has become very, very important. Cooking for pleasure is there, there's daily cooking, but we need gadgets to reduce the time spent. And there's a whole lot of gadgets out there, which are big business opportunities today for all the retailer friends to invest in and to merchandise and to have an assortment that can make the customer walk into their store. There's a whole world of gadgets. I mean, there's so many things that one can use to make one's life easy in the kitchen. It also allows everyone to cook. You don't have to have a talent to cook or years of experience to cook. People know that they can cook by hand and actually increase family bonding. It allows the artist in you to flourish, as I say. Convenience is another area. Everyone wants convenience in cooking, in chopping, in cleaning. These are three terms, three themes that I would ask all retailers to look at carefully and then look at their own assortments in their shop as to whether they are offering enough to their customers who walk in terms of a range that will help them um, uh, have a much easier time and a much better experience in their kitchens. I am saying this because, many people are talking about smart cooking, Internet of Things. All these are also adding to convenience. For example, today in Europe, it is not uncommon for somebody to have an IoT-led induction cooktop where they have already loaded on to the induction in the morning, the dish that they want to eat in the evening. And while leaving from the office, they switch on the induction and it is cooking on its own. So these kind of things will become common the moment we as retailers also show these options to our customers when they come in. Now, coming to cookware, obviously there are so many different types of cookware that is available in the market, from the traditional cookware to the modern value-added cookware, as I call it. It is important to choose the right type of cookware for the right application. And one must not worry about having a range which will enhance our cooking experience. All types of branded cookware that you see in the market, let me assure you as a retailer fraternity, for you to then assure your customers that generally these are all safe. I'm not saying only Prestige is safe. Don't get me wrong. I don't think we should do all this fear mongering. There is nothing wrong with aluminium vessels. There is nothing wrong with stainless steel vessels. There's nothing wrong with non-stick cookware. This is all nonsense, largely unsubstantiated, fake news. So please understand and tell your customers and reassure your customers that they can use this. Now, non-stick cookware has stringent European and American standards. America's FDA, the European Food Standards Committee, all of these certify non-stick for common use and aluminium cookware for common use after doing a lot of research. So when someone says something which is unsubstantiated with nothing there, it is unfortunate and it is unnecessary fear mongering. Non-stick cookware, why suddenly after pandemic the same non-stick cookware become very popular? Because people have realized that using less oil will make them more healthy, and also the convenience of easy cleaning. Stainless steel. So I'll spend a little time in spending what various types of cookware are, just for knowledge sake. So if you look at aluminium non-stick cookware, obviously the advantages are easy cleaning, low oil and healthy, better heat conduction because aluminium is a better conductor of heat. But the disadvantage of a non-stick cookware is you shouldn't be using it on high heat. And normal aluminium cookware, which is exposed, can react to acidic substances like your tamarind and other things. Then if you look at stainless steel cookware, it's of course much longer lasting, but it is relatively a poor heat conductor. It does not corrode or react to food, but food will stick and is much more difficult to clean. So it depends on what you're looking for in your cookware. Now if you look for hard anodized aluminium cookware, it's a good conductor of heat. It's good for high heat application. It's longer lasting. It does not react to acidic substances, but it sticks. Food will stick here. It is not non-stick. So each one of these cookware are made for different kind of applications. If you look at cast iron cookware, the traditional cast iron cookware, it's a very poor conductor of heat. So it's very common for you to use a cast iron tawa. And if you make a dosa, you will find that the center is more brown than the outer periphery of the dosa. But then cast iron cookware is longer lasting but can rust. It is definitely not non-stick, but it retains heat better. As I said, as a retailer, one must be in a position to become a consultant and advisor to your customer wherever required. And that is why I put up this. Now, if you look at the pandemic and its impact on spending, clearly what has reduced is because people are not going out. Apparel purchases have reduced, transportation costs have reduced, vacation and dining out has reduced. What has increased is people have made more stock market investments. People have invested in health, home improvement, home furnishings, which Mr. Roongta was talking about, and of course the kitchen. The kitchen has seen larger investments in this post-pandemic, post-unlock era. And we as a company, for example, during Diwali, have had huge growths. We have had a lot of difficulty in actually catering fully to the demand that is there. And but we have done our best, and I think we have probably performed the best. We have grown by over 25% during this festival period, in fact, which is one of the best growth rates. And there was one time during the lockdown where we were thinking what is going to happen, whether we will survive this year in the business. But the kitchen has been one of the bright spots in the economy. Now, the other trend that you will see is that everything today is online. I mean, the research that a customer does, earlier they used to come to the shop, go to 4 or 5 shops, do their research. That is now happening online. Food, kitchenware and cookware and the new trends, all of this is available. They will look for those trends online before they come to your shop. So therefore, offline shopping now is after they have done some research online. So they are coming much more better informed. One of the big trends that I saw after the unlock happened was when the customer comes in today, he doesn't spend so much time in the outlet now. He knows what he wants to buy. He asks for what he wants to buy, the brand he wants to buy, and buys it and goes away. He spends less time. He does not browse as much, but the walk-in is far more effective today. One more thing that I saw today after the unlock was the smaller retailers have seen a higher growth in their business. People have been reluctant to go into the large format stores. I don't know why, but they have certainly been reluctant. But they want to go to their neighborhood store, exactly ask for what they need and buy what they need. So many of our small retailers have done extremely well in the last 4 or 5 months. Customer is more informed and less likely to be influenced by the seller. So it is better to give the customer what he or she wants. If she asks a question, please be a consultant, please be an advisor, like you would advise your own family member. Now, we all know this. E-retail is today spreading its wings, and therefore the offline retailer friends need to also be aware of what is the growth there. After the unlock, e-commerce has grown significantly for kitchen appliances, almost doubled in fact. E-retail currently provides access to more than 95% of India's PIN codes, which means anyone, any part of the country can now order a product. We are also the fastest growing internet consumer in the world. We are one of the fastest growing number of internet users in the world. We now have 600 million users of internet. 1 in 3 product searches in India starts now on an e-commerce platform and not on Google. Previously, earlier people used to search on Google. Globally, e-retail has seen a surge after the pandemic has come, and so has been the case in India. So what has happened is e-commerce has grown, the smaller retailer has grown, the large format retailer has taken time to come back to business because of various regulations that the government had post-unlock, and B, some customers did not really want to go into these larger stores. Offline retail, in my opinion, after the pandemic, needs to reinvent constantly, not just once a year or once in 2 years. I think we need to reinvent constantly. What do I mean by that? See, today, if I'm going online to shop, I am able to get a lot of information. That I will continue to do. But when I come offline to a retail outlet to shop, what should be my experience? My experience must be such that I keep wanting to come back. That is very important. How do I make my customer come back? How do I retain my customer? How do I give him more reasons to come into my shop? So I have written these 6 steps, 6 dimensions of the retail experience, which is one, your experience, you should be intuitive. It must be simple and easy for shoppers to find what they're looking for. 2, it must be human. The human touch is very important. That is what is missing in an online shopping experience. So the shoppers have quality interactions with knowledgeable, reliable shopkeepers. 3, it must be meaningful. The retailer makes a difference in the lives of the shoppers and who feel a sense of pride when they shop there. 4, it must be immersive. The exterior and interior of the shop should be appealing and inviting and captivating so that people want to spend time there. 5, it must be accessible. Shoppers can shop where and when they want. You know, a lot of my dealer friends, one of the things that I told them when I ran a town hall for my retailer friends, that people would want to shop from the comfort of their homes. So why don't you also give them that comfort by being their neighborhood friend? Many of my people actually started sending WhatsApp messages to their customer base. They started maintaining and building a customer base and then help their customers shop from their comfort of their homes. Remember, an Amazon takes 1 or 2 days to deliver. The neighborhood retailer can take one hour to deliver. So there are inherent advantages that you can use to actually take advantage of the trends of the shopper today. And lastly, it must be personalized. The experience is how shoppers want it, with associates who understand their unique needs. Now, over a period of time, you must be knowing your customers. You know what their unique needs are. That's a huge advantage you have over any e-commerce platform. So customer connect is everything. The digital opportunity is there for you to take advantage of. You have WhatsApp, you can have your own Facebook page. You can do so many things today. Drive reasons to walk in, as I said, drive innovations. When I said Prestige launches 100 products a year, if you do not keep the new products, why will the customer come to your shop again and again? There must be something new they must be wanting to see there. If there is something new and they know that your shop has something new all the time, they will come to your shop again and again. Invest in the right assortment, the right kind of products, and the right kind of brands. Normally, any outlet must have the good, the better, and the best displayed for all kinds of customers that can walk into their shop. So if you look at a Prestige assortment, for example, all our major categories, you will have good, better, and best segmented very well, whether it is pressure cookers, whether it's an induction cooktop, whether it's a gas stove, whether it's a mixer grinder, anywhere. So that's what has made Prestige a leader today in pressure cookers, in cookware, in gas stoves, in induction cooktops, in rice cookers, because there's an assortment and a very well segmented category. So as a retail partner, we would like you also to invest in an assortment that will show this good, better, and best to your customers for that category. The reason I gave you all those customer trends was so that you can be in line with the customer's trends. Customer today is evolving very fast. Retailer also needs to evolve. It's nice if you get feedback from your customers on their shopping experience so that you can improve continuously. Now, just a quick word on how the sales has been so far post the unlock. We have now more than 6 months post unlock. Kitchen appliance sales has been very robust. Diwali has been very robust. We had a huge problem in our supply chains. Many of our small vendors lost their labor. Now that has come back to normal. In the beginning, as I said, offline retail was slow, but has now picked up. Dealers have been very happy with the retail pre-Diwali. Many people say that Diwali was normal. We have had a very good Diwali, for example. During this period, we have had many new products that we launched. It's something that dealers did not expect, but we launched more than 50 new products during this post-unlock period. We've added more than 4,500 new dealer partners to our fold. We welcome anyone who is not yet made selling Prestige a habit to join us at any point in time. Cookware, cleaning products, convenience products, and small appliances have done extremely well. And after the offline retail has started stabilizing, online growths have now started to flatten a bit, which tells me that as my retail partners, you have a very good future going ahead when you are selling good products to your customers. From a town class perspective, it does seem like the smaller towns and rural has grown faster. Online, both in online and offline retail. As I said, we've added 4,500 outlets in the smaller towns of this country. We have and continue to look for distribution partners. Rural is doing exceedingly well. We expect that that is going to only get better because we will have a bumper crop this year. Customers seeking value. But what is interesting about this rural and small town business, and the biggest trend that I'm seeing, is that they are looking for good brands and good products and not necessarily cheap products. They have an aspiration that you must recognize. They're looking for value. They're not looking for cheap. Smaller outlets, as I said, are finding a higher traction. Customer or walk-ins have reduced, but are far more effective. So the market trends, therefore, cookware and kitchenware will be one of the few categories that I am very confident will show a growth in FY21, the current financial year. Most Indian kitchens, even now, have very basic products. They're all very strong upgrade candidates, and the pandemic has made people think about upgrading their kitchens. The growth trends will be in double digits, which for the coming 5 years is my estimate. So this will be one of the better performing categories among the durable segment. We will be truly the FMCD, as they call it. Worldwide also, we are seeing that cookware, kitchenware, houseware is doing a big growth because of work from home trends, because of the same reasons that I spoke of in India. We know that further lockdowns are possible. However, I hope they don't happen. But any such thing happening will only add to this trend. So this is one space that has plenty of potential, in my opinion, for as long as you as retailers want to showcase the right assortment, the right innovations, making people upgrade their kitchen and cooking experience, you will have enough and more new business coming to your shops. Please do not commoditize the product. बहुत सारे retailer क्या बोलते हैं, सस्ता बेचना चाहते हैं. When you sell cheap, remember the entire chain makes less money. When you sell good product, value products, your customer will bring 10 new customers. That is the whole idea. So this is one space that has plenty of potential. One last point. In the last 1 month, we have seen a lot of cost increases. We did not have raw material prices increasing for a long time. That has unfortunately started happening because the demand has also been very robust. So there's an all-round increase in cost of raw materials. The inflation is going up. Increase in selling prices will be seen in the next few months as we go along. So therefore, please look at selling good products, not the cheapest products. And if you have the capital to invest, increase your stock holding slowly but surely, because you can then make money in this area. So thank you very much for that. And in terms of way forward for retailers, I believe your focus should be on improving customer experience, focus on innovation, create a need and opportunity to purchase, use digital wherever possible, and work on your merchandising, assortment, and presentation for your customers. Thank you very much for your attention. And if there are any questions, I'd be quite happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kalro, for the thought-provoking insight. It was a pleasure to see the presentation. We have many questions coming in. Should we start, or Mr. Rungta, would you like to
Yeah,
say?
I would like to just sum up before we take the questions. I think, Mr. Carver, it was a great presentation, great insights, and sorry.
You're audible, Mr. Rungta.
Yeah, I'm audible, right?
Yeah.
So, sorry. Uh, so I think the message is very clear from Mr. Caldo to all of us that work on innovation, work on exciting the customer, work on enhancing the customer experience, and also there's a huge opportunity in cookware in the kitchen. India always had this opportunity for centuries, but I think in the modern times, in the post-pandemic time, the profile of the opportunity itself undergoes a change, which is what I understand, Mr. Kalro, from your presentation. It becomes more modern, more contemporary, and more, I think it's more educated perspective to cooking now. And I think that is what makes it very, very interesting for the young Indian consumers who are now more health conscious, more hygiene conscious. They want to have the best of both worlds. And I think this is what gives a great opportunity even to offline retailers. I would like to share some experiences on international travels. When we walk into cookware stores into the Western countries, you see a lot of live demo of cooking being done by the cookware retailers, which I don't see in any of the Indian stores so far, at least to my knowledge. So these are some of the learnings we can take from our more developed counterparts, and I think this could be very interesting. Uh, Also, I think integration of categories, cookware itself becoming more integrated to whole lifestyle categories of home. So we have always been saying that houseware, home decor, home textiles are all getting integrated to a new category called home, rather than cookware being just getting isolated or textile being getting isolated. And that is the also we are seeing it happening increasingly. I have an example of a Delhi-based store, for example, uh, who started as a furnishing store completely, and now for last 3 years we see him selling Philips mixer grinder, and they're doing very well. So I think this kind of integration also, because every consumer now, the modern consumer is wanting to uh, buy products which are, which give them complete solution. They want to shop at the stores which provide them complete solution. They don't want to go run from shop to shop for buying different things. So this is another trend which I think even the cookware retailers need to catch up with, and probably widen their horizons to see that how they excite the consumer, and that is how they will differentiate themselves also from the conventional retailers, or also from the have advantage over the online retailers. So as you very rightly said that he can deliver in 1 hour instead of 1 day. So everybody seems to be saying, Mr. Calgro, that the online retailers can deliver next day, but he can deliver actually in 1 hour. Now this is what he has to realize. So I think that's very well said. I would say a lot of good inputs coming from your presentation, a lot of trigger to mind to people who want to think and move forward. And so houseware and cookware and kitchenware have not been new subjects, but I think we need to really reinvent the subject itself. And that is the reason also we are trying to put this whole presentation on smart cooking this time in the coming show, so that the retailers and dealers can actually see how cookware is becoming smarter, how cookware is becoming more innovative, and what does it mean for they themselves, that how they need to change their selling style and selling proposition to their own customers. So with these few words, I think it was a great presentation. Thank you very much, Mr. Kalra, for taking time out. It was very inspiring and stimulating for all of us. Uh, Thank you, Madhur. Over to you for some questions. I think we have a lot of questions here I can see on the panel. I don't know, Mr. Kalro, whether you'll be able to answer all of them. I think people have really loved your presentation. I can see that. But request would be that in case we can't take all the questions, please by email, if we can send some of the answers which are left
Sure,
out.
sure,
Yeah.
sure.
So Madhur, over to you.
Yes, thank you, sir. Let's move on to some questions. The first question is from Mr. Nagori. He's asking, doesn't exclusive outlets conflict with your other channels? You know, wouldn't a customer prefer to buy from you directly at the cost of other channels?
No, I don't think so, because there are pluses and minuses of an exclusive outlet. When I move into an exclusive outlet, I have lost the opportunity to see any other brand or any other range. So I am sacrificing something to come into an exclusive outlet. Similarly, a multi-brand outlet, possibly, and by the way, these exclusive outlets are not company outlets. They are franchise outlets. They are also dealer partners. So it is not as if the only advantage of these exclusive outlets is that they will see a wider range of the brand as compared to what a multi-brand retailer can keep.
Right, sir. Another question is from Mr. Agarwal. Is TTK Prestige trying to become a lifestyle brand from a houseware brand?
Well, we have been trying to premiumize the brand wherever possible, but we will always be a mass brand and not a niche brand. Yeah.
Later. Mr. Rumi is asking, is stainless steel gas stove making a strong comeback? And are there real connections about the fragility of glass top gas stoves?
Glass top gas stoves are exceedingly reliable but they come with certain usage restrictions. You cannot use a tandoor, for example, on top of a glass top gas stove. Now, if you do something like that, it is bound to crack. Stainless steel gas stoves have a very traditional look. People today have open kitchens, so they like to buy glass tops, and glass tops are pretty reliable. There's no such problem.
Sure, sir. Mr. Bhatt is asking how to compete with online prices in an exclusive showroom. Prices difference is more than our margin. Also, the volume of business is higher online.
The way we are doing this, I mean, it is impossible to close all pricing conflicts in a multi-channel brand environment. But we are constantly focused on making sure pricing is aligned and people sell at the right prices. There are cases where they don't, which is something that we can't eliminate, but we'll definitely try and reduce. Madhur, you're on mute.
Let's move to our next question, sir. Mr. Kabra is asking, how do you see the impact of reduction in imports from overseas affecting this industry?
In fact, I think the Indian industry will grow. We, as TTK Prestige, took the first step, you are aware, for stopping the Chinese imports. I was very emotional when the Chinese did what they did to India. And I said, whatever happens, we will stop our imports from China of finished goods, because our own engineering, our own ingenuity is good enough. What you will find is today that most of the things that we have stopped importing from China, we have already started making from India. Even though there was a pandemic, we managed all this. And today what I'm seeing is that we can actually give the products at a lesser price than even China if we try and put our hearts to it. It was just that we were being easy and lazy earlier. And I think every customer should insist that we must buy local, like our Prime Minister is telling us to.
Our next question is from Mr. Kumar. What is your take on the growth of tri-ply stainless steel cookware?
It is a new concept. It is still at the niche concept. It comes with the disadvantages of stainless steel cookware, but it comes with the advantage of very long durability. So it all depends on what you want, as I said, in different types of cookware. You can actually use tri-ply cookware for years to come. But if you want a non-stick cookware, it will not last you so many years. There are tri-ply non-stick also today.
Our next question is from Mr. Dixit. A lot of companies had spent huge amount of money on online platforms. With the online sales flattening, how do you think companies could safeguard themselves from the dip that will come in the near future?
I don't think the online will dip. I'm just saying that their growths have flattened out. Also, as I said, the consumer today does a lot of research on the online platforms, shopping platforms. So it is important for people to continue to invest there so that they can come and even look at it physically in the offline retailers. See, finally, this thing has to work together. Nothing will take over anything completely, but everyone has to fight for their share of their business.
Right, sir. Mr. Das is asking, sometimes product quality is going poor, like electric kettle, rice cooker, induction cooker, cooktop also. So what should we do about it?
So as I said, you should stop commoditizing the category. You should sell good, better, and best, not just the cheapest product. In Prestige, for example, we have induction cooktop starting from 1500 to 3500. Are you selling the 3500 product? Are you looking at presenting that product as an option to your customer? These are questions. Finally, what you pay for is what you will get. At the end of the day, there will be compromises somewhere. There will be something less in something and which is cheaper.
Yes, sir.
Mr.
Mr.
Karthik, I have a question for you. You know, I've been listening to you, and I'm sure with your vision, you have an answer for me for that. You know, what would be in your, I know that this would be a difficult question, but I'm sure you would have, as Prestige, would have certainly done some homework on it. What would be the size of total cookware and kitchenware market in India today?
So if you look at the straight answer is that it is over 10,000 crores. But the answer that you will get from market research agency is that cookers and cookware put together is around 3,500 crores. The problem is today, if you look at your kitchen, there are bartans and bartans and bartans which are commoditized, no handle in them. You use a pakkad to handle. All that is also cookware, finally.
Yeah.
The steel bartans are also cookware.
Absolutely.
The point is this 3,500 can go to 10,000 very quickly if the retailer friends allow the category to flourish. Today, if I sell a bartan, I make 20 rupees on that. If I sell a cookware with a handle, I might make 100 rupees on that. Mm-hmm. That is the difference that the retailer has to make to their own lives. Because if they don't, shopper will buy online sooner rather than later.
So to my mind, even 10,000 crores sounds very small for a
very small. Yeah, true.
And is it the 10,000 crore you are also still referring to only the branded and the organized segment? Or?
No, I'm talking overall.
And where do you see
don't have too many proxies. Until the GST came, my retailer friends will know that a lot of material used to go without bill. So it is difficult to even estimate. You know, after that, something has reduced, and today we are seeing a larger formalization of that happening. So these are all things that will improve markets.
Okay. And where do you see it going, say, by, say, next 5 years? Do you see it average growth being maintained over 20-20% per annum?
I think the kitchenware segment will grow at double digits, around 12 to 14% for the next 5 years, very comfortably.
Okay, and after that, it goes further up, or
it depends. See, again, this growth is something that we have to make it happen. We have to give customers a reason to upgrade. If they are upgrading, they will buy more. If they are going to use what they used yesterday, they will buy only what they need.
So branded segment is still about 2-3% of the total market, or more?
If I look at the 10,000 number, you are talking about 20%.
Okay. Okay. So that answers it. Okay. Yeah. That answers a lot. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for those insights, Mr. Kalra. And looking forward to some more interaction with you in near future. And so my suggestion to all our dealer friends who are listening to us would be to take advantage of the smart cooking story which is coming up and see how things are. And Mr. Kalra very rightly said that we still have a long way to go, and dealers and retailers will have an important role to play in that, and they have to realize that they themselves would be benefited by supporting this whole movement of moving of more cookware moving towards more formal and more branded segment. So it is a win-win situation for everybody, for all the stakeholders, and we hope that we will collectively take this process forward. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Kalro, from bottom of my heart for an excellent presentation. And thank you, the audience, for being with us. I'm sure this has given you a lot of ideas for growth of your own business. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madhur. Over to you.
Bye-bye.
Madhur, anything?
Due to time constraints, whichever questions we could not take, we would be answering through email. Thank you again, Mr. Kalro, for sharing your vision. The audience for being such a patient listener. Thanks everyone for taking out time today and being with us. See you at EdgeH India 2021. Good day.
Good day. Thank you.